Welcome to part 7, recreating all Plotly figures. So we've come to the stage where we want to insert our data visualizations into our dashboard, and we need to create them. So what we're going to do is just recreate all of those figures that we did in the chapter on Plotly visualizations. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create 3 figures, and each figure is going to have 2 plots on it, one for cases, one for deaths. The first figure is going to show it cumulatively, then daily, and then weekly. All right, so what we need here is all of the data, not just the summary data that we've been working with before. So we're going to read in this CSV, which contains all of the data. That means every area for every date is going to have both daily and cumulative daily deaths and cases. Okay, so let's take a look at the code below that is going to create these figures, and it's going to look just like the code that we did in the Plotly chapter. So this should be review. So we're going to get the last known date from the summary table. The first prediction date will be just the day after that. This will help us color the known data a different color than the prediction data. Okay, so we have a function here that will create those 3 figures. So by default, it will create 3 figures. It's just going to do a for loop right here, and it will return 3 separate figures. They're all going to look the same. I like this. There's going to be two plots on each figure, one for deaths and one for cases. Okay, so these functions will create those different plots. So either a cumulative plot, a daily plot, or a weekly plot. And then we have one last function that will use the above 4 functions to create everything that we need. So if we take a look in here, what we're going to do here is, if you look at the create figure, so it's going to create those 3 figures, and it's going to be done for a particular area inside of a particular group. So it's not going to create for all areas and for each group. We're going to pass it in a specific area or a group and area, say USA and Texas. So it's going to get that data. It's going to separate out the actual versus the prediction. And then it will create the 3 figures for that particular area. It's going to create in the first figure, it will add in the cumulative graphs. And the second figure, it will do the daily graphs. And then for the third figure, it will place in the weekly data. And then you just pass in the data, that's this df_dict over here of actual and prediction, and then the 2 kinds, deaths and cases. So this one function creates 3 figures. Each figure is going to have 2 plots on it each, one for deaths, one for cases. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this. It'll be easier when we actually create them. So I'm going to use this create graphs, and I'm going to use create graphs for the state of Texas. So figs is just a list of figures. And so to view them, these are just Plotly figures. We can view them in the notebook. So the first one is right here. So this is cumulative with actual in blue, and then our predicted values in orange. And then we can look at the next one, which is daily. So this is our daily daily deaths and daily cases, again with actual and predicted values. And then finally we have the weekly, which will be in the last figure. So we have deaths and cases like this. Okay, so that is what we're doing. We're just recreating these graphs in Plotly, and the result is these 3 Plotly figures, and these will eventually be in our dashboard as under some tabs, so we can look at them individually. All right, so just a review here of recreating our figures in Plotly.